I can't fucking believe it. They fucking cast Robert Downey Jr. as fucking Doctor Doom. What the fuck? Why? This was supposed to be us moving forward. Why are we sliding back? I no. No! Why?
This fucking sucks, bro. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cosmic Panel, back again with another weekly polls episode. This is going to be like episode like 94 or so. We're almost at 100 episodes. Crazy that we've gotten this far. Thanks for sticking with us. We hope that you guys have found out about some new series through this series that we do. Real quick before we get into the episode, just want to shout out our sponsor, Comic Universe. If you guys are PA or Philly natives, these guys are a great shop to visit. They got loads of back issues, loads of recent issues, dollar books, keys, graded books, toys, Pokemon cards, and so much, much more. Oh, new books every Wednesday. So definitely be sure to give them a visit, guys. Really great selection for new and old comic readers alike. Thanks to Mike and Mike for the sponsorship. Let's get on with the video.
And remember, guys, to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and comment down below what books you're pulling this week. Elias, what's your first pull?
This is a really great month for Marvel books, new books specifically. There's a lot of cool series that are going to be starting up, and a lot of new series that are continuing well on. So first up for me, I have X-Men number 2. First issue I really enjoyed. I thought Stegman was a really great time on Juggernaut and all these characters. We got some nice one-on-one Beast time, kind of giving me classic vibes of how Beast would usually, meet with reporters and all that kind of stuff, while
Beast.
also bringing us into a new HQ. This is the reset clone mind of Beast that they didn't, I guess, want to talk too much about in this first issue. Hopefully we do get into that a little bit more.
I mean, to be honest, all of Krakoan, anyone who died in Krakoan era is technically a clone, when you think about it. So,
okay.
I
mean is,
I wonder who hasn't died in the entire Krakoan era.
Yeah, right.
That's the real question now. Like, who hasn't died and didn't basically is still their original version.
Yeah, that would be a fun game. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun first issue. It introduced us to some new villains, humans that want to infuse themselves with some mutant DNA to empower themselves. And also, I don't know if you did this, but there was a little code at the end of the issue. I think it was a QR code. Did you scan that?
Yeah, for an extra page.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool thing. I don't know if they've done that before, but I thought that was a really neat feature.
I'd never seen that before. They did that also for the other X books that are coming out. So I was pretty sick. Like NYX did it and X Force did it also, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you get a little bonus page of content there. Obviously, there's some bigger threats that Jed is setting up. But yeah, I have high hopes for this. I think this is going to be a fun series. Second issue here, we have an alien invasion that the X-Men have to tackle. A big threat already, it looks like. Cyclops and Psylocke on the cover of this one, hoping we get some more Psylocke time. She's definitely a force to be reckoned with when written well. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this next issue.
Yeah. And I'm also liking how we're kind of getting an overview of how the world is after Krakoa, especially with the other X books. It's nice to see that.
And the conclusion of weapon extraction that I've totally been following.
Totally.
All right, Lucas, what is your first pick for this week?
My first pick is Sensational She-Hulk number 10. This series has been amazing. This series, absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't been following, I've talked about the series before. One of the best She-Hulk runs in modern probably time, honestly, because it's surprisingly not as fourth wall breaky as some people would expect a She-Hulk book to be, but it is so full of heart, genuinely, that you can't deny the charm basically of the series. It's more of a rom com. It's more of a just slice of life book, but it's amazing. It provides um, Jen an opportunity to really stretch her humanization, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, no, amazing series, and we've been building up to Jack of Hearts being the main love interest for her, and it's been building up, building up, building up, and it's been amazing. And last issue, we had a pretty big thing where basically, uh, we had everyone realize that Jack of Hearts is alive. So now she's no longer the only one that knows that. Everyone else knows that, and now it's kind of a thing of how will everyone else react now. But yeah, no, it was sick. I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. I actually hope they stay together, honestly, because they're so fitting.
Let some Marvel couples be happy, please. I'm begging you.
Yeah,
Just let these guys stay together.
this is
Um,
apparently going to be the last issue of this run, but I
yeah,
mean, I, yeah, it's been so good.
yeah. With how fast Marvel's been restarting new number ones, I have no doubt this will be back soon enough.
The last one was also with the same exact creative team, so it was pointless to restart the numbering last time too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what they're on right now, but there are so many new
cocaine,
books coming out.
a
So
lot of cocaine. That's what they're on. Excessive amounts of it. Anyway, Alliance, what's your next pick?
next up for me is going to be Werewolf by Night #1. This is a pretty big thing for the industry, especially for Marvel, to be doing a ongoing book that is purely red band. This is their first one that they're doing like this. There's only going to be red band edition. There's no, you know, non-explicit version, if you will. This is going to be ongoing, which is really cool. It's not a mini, at least for now. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to check this out. I love me some Werewolf by Night, and this is definitely an unexpected new book for them to bring into their line here. Um, we got Jason Liu writing it, who just did the Last Century book that I enjoyed very much. And we have Sergio Fernandez Davila on the art. Not super familiar with his stuff, but yeah, I'm very curious to get into this book and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, we're following Jack Russell, which the last time we even saw him was in the Moon Knight annual, from what I remember, or even the World by Night one shot that they did around the time
Yeah,
that
the
they
one
released
shot.
that movie, or special. But yeah, it's all we know is that he's king of the werewolves, and it's kind of just been left ambiguous what he's been up to. So definitely excited to see what's going to happen, especially after Blood Hunt, because we know that monsters are probably going to be on the back foot after everything.
Yeah, there's plenty to do in this series. I hope they don't ditch any, continuity or character growth that we've had with Jack so far. Because yeah, there's a well of storytelling available where he's currently at in the universe. So
Yeah,
hopefully they can pick up from there and hoping it's strong.
yeah, definitely.
All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is DC versus Vampires World War V #1. Um, I wasn't really a huge fan of the way the series ended last time. It felt very weird. Barbara suddenly chose to become the queen of the vampires, but then as soon as she became queen of the vampires, she killed Nightwing, who was king of the vampires. Really weird. But basically, Green Arrow has been running a resistance against them, and has formed a whole team with Swamp Thing and a bunch of other people. But it's been a pretty good series, honestly. It's just definitely had its low moment during the climax of it. Um, so I'm hoping this sequel will really pick up where the last one left off and really get that going. Because from what I can understand, Damien, who got turned into a vampire in the last one, he was one of the few people that was actually able to control his hunger. Alfred kept on providing him blood, um, and then like an IV thing, and when like that was the way that Damien was like keeping going, was like not eating anyone, but by doing that, which Which honestly, weirdly enough, out of all the characters that contain their bloodlust, I think Damien makes the most sense because he's used to that. Like he's that is him 24/7. So like for him to not kill anyone, that's like normal for him. Um, so I actually kind of like that he's like the one vampire that can actually control, like he doesn't need to kill. But yeah, so like apparently Barbara now is going to be queen of the vampires, and Green Arrow is leading the resistance, and apparently they're going to uh, fight, try to make a peace, like a basically peace amongst themselves. Especially after a bunch of the vampire heroes died, Superman died in a miniseries and shit like that. So it's pretty wild. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, as an outsider to this, I've just seen so many issues and spin-offs and whatnot of this universe. So I hope they have more to do, and maybe this resistance will have some success.
It was just wild because the way they ended the last series was, oh, Barbara became, it literally in like the span of 3 pages. Barbara became Vampire Queen, immediately killed Nightwing, and all of a sudden she was evil, and there were still the vampires were still loose, and then it just ended, and it was like, wait, what?
Damn.
Yeah, it was like, what? Like what the fuck was that ending? But like this, every episode before then was so good. The mini series that spun out of that was like all in red and white was really good. The one with Azrael and Miss Marvel and stuff like that. Those were like phenomenal. But yeah,
Mary Marvel.
yeah, Mary Marvel, not Miss Marvel.
Mary.
But yeah, no, very good.
Cool.
And what's your next pick, Elias?
Next up for me is another new Marvel #1, and that is Ultraman X Avengers #1. This is a really, really cool crossover that they're doing for the very first time. August is full of crossover books for Marvel, which is something I'm a sucker for. We got Ultraman and Avengers in this one, and this is a really, really fun team, not only in the book, but also creative team. We got Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. Kyle has done the past Ultraman books for Marvel, so I'm very excited to see what he has planned this time around. I expect this to be a really fun romp through the Marvel universe. Get some major interactions between Ultraman and the rest of the Marvel universe. The other ones were very loosely related, took place in the same universe, but didn't really interact with too many Marvel characters. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a really fun time, and I'm excited to start a new #1.
Where do you think he's going to rank on the Avengers tier list?
Will they induct him into the team? That's what I want to know. Will they say,
We'll re-release the
Ultraman, you
three and
are
a
an
half hour
Avenger?
video with Ultraman included.
Yeah, gotta redo it.
Redo it all.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I like Thwip meets Shuwatch. That's fun. But yeah, we'll have some great kaijus, I'm sure, and hopefully we get more characters than just the ones on the cover here. From what I understand, it's going to be a mini-series, so I'm sure they'll get together lots of cool team-ups.
Yeah. I love Giant Man or a Goliath or someone along those lines to meet him. That would be funny.
Yeah, that would be good. All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Absolute Power Task Force 7 #4. We're fucked. We're we're fucked, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
um we lost Dreamer, John Kent. I was right about that. Called it.
Get in line, buddy.
Everyone is dead. Anyone who isn't dead is on the run. Everything all the tech we were going to use for fighting against them now completely useless because it got absorbed by Brainiac Queen. Yeah, we're even Kandor got neutralized, which was crazy. So I really don't know what are we gonna do. I genuinely don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
Green Arrow's gonna turn over Our Man's hourglass, and he's
yeah, he's gonna turn it over.
he's gonna undo it all.
Yeah, that's how that it totally doesn't just give you super strength. That's all it
Nah, I'm
does.
sure they're
It's
gonna
not
do
anything
some time
special.
travel shit to undo this, and he's gonna like fuck it up, and then the universe is gonna splinter, and it's gonna create the mega B. I don't know. It's
I'm hoping Mark Wade
it's
remembers that
just
it's
getting
not a
worse
time
and
travel
worse.
device.
Yeah, no, I'm
It's
sure he
never been a
does.
time travel
But I
device.
think that's what they were hinting at there.
But yeah, this issue is going to be following Failsafe as he tries to round up the rest of the heroes, the Grayson and such, and going to find them in another hidden lair, which sounds about right for them running. But yeah, pretty crazy. I also did love the little moment where Batman and Mr. Terrific are like, "Who's going to lead us? Who's going to be the strategist?" And then they're like bickering amongst themselves, and Nightwing was like, "Hey, everyone, attention!" And it just like went right into like leader mode, and it was like, "Okay, cool." Like I'm glad that they didn't immediately go, "Oh yeah, there was this." No, 100% the Justice League should come back because the Titans weren't doing it. It's like, no, the Titans did have a handle on shit. It's just Waller's Waller. Even if the Justice League was in charge and still around, I feel like they would have still fell.
Right. No,
So
they're
I
they're
like that.
showing that she's completely unhinged, and she's just not giving them a chance to regroup. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to recover from this other than time travel at this point. Just undo everything that happened because it's pretty bad, pretty bad.
Yeah, I do like the new costumes though. It's pretty sweet. The
Yeah.
only one I wasn't a huge fan of was Aquaman's.
Oh yeah, who's this Radio Wave kid? Where is he from?
Radio Wave Kid.
Yeah, it was like a one panel. Mr. Terrific's
Oh,
like,
he's
who are
from.
you?
Oh yeah, he's
And then
he's
he just looked like a
so
knockoff Flash, and he
so
like,
so
I'm Airwave? Question mark. He like said that.
so you remember Stargirl and the Lost Children? Those are all. He was one of the sidekicks that was rescued from that island.
I'm
Like
surprised I just never seen
the
him.
lost like golden age hero sidekicks, basically.
Yeah,
And he was
I
yeah,
read
he was just
JSA
one
up
random.
for a good minute. I'm surprised I didn't see him at any point.
There were so many in the Lost Children. Like you have to understand, like Jeff
Okay,
Johns just put like over 100 of them in the fucking book. Like it was ridiculous. Like,
gotcha.
but he also put like Mr. Terrific also had a sidekick on top of that. Like there were so many. I can't wait for Waller to lobotomize Mr. Terrific to get rid of his quote unquote superpower, being smart. It's gonna be real awesome and epic.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say I was surprised that Waller was like, yeah, let's not hurt civilians. I was like, even that, like, I was like,
But then
huh,
she threatens Dreamer's family like five
yeah.
minutes later. I was like,
I was like, I don't believe you for
yeah,
1 second.
yeah,
But
not
yeah,
really.
pretty crazy. Absolute power is getting pretty wild.
Yeah,
I will
we'll have
say
to
some of
see
the
who made
paneling
it
was a
out.
little bit weird. Did you also feel that the paneling was a little bit weird at times?
Well, it was less so the paneling, more so the with event books. I feel like you have to cover a lot in a quick amount of time when they're miniseries like that,
Hmm.
and that was kind of the vibe it gave me. I just feel like they were omitting or jumping to the next thing too fast, and like I couldn't follow quite what was happening. I don't think it was like a paneling issue as much as it was just like a continuity issue or like editing issue. You know what I mean?
But yeah. Anyway, what's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Green Lantern number 14. Really excited to jump into this issue uh, because it also has to do with absolute power. Last issue, we talked about it a little bit on the channel already, I believe, but it covered a lot of ground. Um, we, had time with Hal, we had time with Kyle and the other refugee lanterns. Um, we had time with Alan Scott. We had time with
Sinestro,
Sinestro, right? Yeah, Sinestro. So yeah, we
Carol's
kind of checked in with
fiance.
everybody, saw where everyone was at. We also had time, little final page twist there. So I'll set this up this way. After all this, time with Hal being in captivity, and seeing where Sinestro's at and seeing where all these people are at. Hal breaks out, but then when you think the issue's over, it's not over. And then when you think the issue's over a second and third time, it's still not over. And at the very end, we get Carol's ex just going on creating a new core right there.
Yeah.
Sorrow. So really, really sick issue 13. Honestly, might be my favorite issue of the run so far.
And the thing is, that wasn't any more pages than any of the previous issues. That's the crazy thing.
It's nuts.
Jeremy Adams is just that good at writing, where he can like balance that many storylines. Like he's built it up over time, which is great.
Yeah, and there
but
was
this
still the backup story after all that too, which is nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, it was cool.
No.
We got a little mini story with Lord Premier Tharos, seeing kind of his beginnings and kind of what started his general distrust and aggressiveness. So that was really cool. But yeah, fantastic issue 14. I'm really excited to get into, see if Hal can do anything. We haven't seen him in the main Absolute Power book. Unlike Superman and Wonder Woman, suddenly just being back in the main book. Hal has not shown up, so hopefully he is able to mount a good assault back on Waller. And yeah, I'm really excited to read this issue.
Yeah, I will say I found it interesting that there was a little bit of a twist in Absolute Power in the reveal that the Flash that we saw in like the tactical suit wasn't Barry. Me and everyone else had assumed that was Barry for some reason. That turned out to be Wally, which is wild.
Yeah.
So where the fuck's Barry? Like, I'm not reading the current Flash book because it's ass, but I don't know if it ties in at all. From what I could tell, it didn't. So
I don't think it did.
Yeah, no one likes it. So
when was the last time a Flash issue came out? I don't know why I haven't paid attention.
I don't know, man. I do not pay attention to that series anymore. And I like the writer for it, but I don't like it for Flash. Love him for Hellblazer. Cy Superior is just not it for Flash.
Yeah.
But I like how actually flying a plane again. That's nice.
Yeah, I hope they actually do that. Yeah, there's no Absolute Power tie-in on Banner on these covers, so I guess he's not being tackled.
No one gives a fuck about that series.
Yeah, I guess not.
Goes to show how much they fucked up by kicking off Jeremy Adams, but hey, we're eating good with Green Lantern now, so I mean, honestly,
That's right.
Joke's on them.
Yeah. All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Geiger number 5. Never ever felt more bad for a two-headed dog. Why the fuck are you doing this to me, Jeff Johns? Why are you doing this? Why are you abusing an animal, especially a mutated animal with two dog heads that just wants to chill? Like this cover should indicate how fucked up this issue is already. But yeah, we had this really sick double page spread in last issue where after they're like tracking the dog and everything, and it was really sick, and it was Geiger entering this like shelter, and the one night is like, no, don't go in there. That's where all the mutants are, and he's like, I don't care. I need to let off steam. And he goes in, and the night goes around like, and Geiger just takes off his batons and a double page spread of like all the mutants jumping on him and him just melting all of them. And just fucking going berserk, just like absolutely crazy because he wants to get his fucking dog back. But yeah, no, I kind of like this. I love this like human aspect to the story of like he lost his fucking family. He found this dog while he was protecting quote unquote the bunker that he thought had his family inside, and this dog basically is the last remnant of his family, in a way. So for him, he wants to save this dog no matter what. Pretty great.
Yeah, I can't believe this is already at 5 issues. Nuts.
Yeah, no, honestly, the series has been doing pretty well at pacing itself now. I would say after the first issue, I thought it was a pretty lackluster first issue, but every issue after that has been really good at like doing almost a episodic adventure esque story within an overall arching through line, which is great. So I've really been loving it.
Awesome.
And Elias, what is your top pick?
My top pick for this week is none other than Vengeance of the Moon Knight number 8. Now, only 2 weeks ago did the last issue come out, and I'm going to keep glazing this series because I just can't. There's nothing else to. I can't call it bad. It's not bad. If you think this is bad, if you think this series is bad, if you think just I don't know, see a therapist or something, like
get your eyes actually
figure
checked.
figure it out. Figure it out. Alessandro just keeps topping himself. He only took that one issue off because I mean, well, it'll be 2 issues ago now, issue 6 specifically, but that the fill-in artist was in, and I guess he was just maybe spending extra time on this last issue, because boy was it fantastic. I mean, just page after page, double page spreads, just absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Did exactly what it needed to do. Gave us more time in Asgard with Hunter's Moon and Tiger breaking Khonshu out, and Wrecker,
Yeah,
of course.
Khonshu's monologue was fucking amazing.
Khonshu's dialogue was fantastic.
I love him like being like, "Still, that's all you call me," and Mark being like, "Thank you, Father."
Did you read the Zero issue, by the way?
Yeah, I did. That was a great recap issue.
Fantastic,
also.
Right?
Just flexing on the art, just being like, fuck all of you, fuck every other artist in this event, y'all. There ain't no big three, it's just big me, fucking Alessandro Capuccio energy.
Yeah, but the Zero issue followed by issue 7, I think was perfect. There's obviously a lot that can happen now that Khonshu's back.
Yeah,
he's already flexing his authority in issue 7.
I was going to say, I got some sinister vibes from him near the end of that Zero issue where he was like, a father's love can't be outshone by another.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I'm surprised he didn't act more like callous towards Tigra in Asgard, or not in Asgard, but more callous towards Tigra there in issue 7.
I think it's because he was trying to get Mark to like agree to do whatever, like to lead the army. So he was like, "I'll deal with that later," type of deal.
Well, like before he revealed Mark, and Tiger was like asking him like, "Where is he? Where is he?"
Oh yeah,
Khonshu could have just been like, "Shut the fuck up," just fucking like killed her or some shit.
I'm interested if they're gonna bring back Ewing's Tiger God shit, because that would be because he mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned her being touched by a god, so I was like, oh. That would be like an actually really interesting thought of like her also being tied to a pantheon because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of sick shit, a lot of moving parts, and now that we have Doctor Strange clearing up and Moon Knight's still going, written by Jed McKay. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen, because Shroud is gonna get fucking his head bashed.
Yeah.
Poor I actually feel bad for Shroud. Man is going to come out of the coma of being in the dark force coma and just get fucking smacked.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is the time to just keep going big. I think that this creative team has the ability to just keep a steady crescendo going with Moon Knight as a character and as a universe. They've established so many other characters and moving parts in this universe now, like the Zero issue shows you. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited for issue 8. This is, I think, the penultimate issue of this volume. Yeah. And then we're going to start up the new volume pretty quickly. So yeah, this is super hype. What a beautiful series. If you guys aren't reading it, if you guys like the Moon Knight show, if you don't know who Moon Knight is, maybe you can jump in on this Zero issue and then the new number 1 that's going to start in October. But yeah, fantastic series, fantastic art, time and again. I am curious to see how Shroud, or where Shroud is at after being this portal to the Dark Force, because we didn't really deal with that at the end of Blood Hunt. in issue 5. So I do want to know what becomes of those people once they've, because I thought they just fucking exploded and died, but I guess it's not that simple. So yeah, very
Yeah,
curious to get into the next issue.
we were more preoccupied with Doom becoming Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah,
Tiny little problem,
yeah.
tiny little thing. Also, crazy that they're committing to Miles and Miles being a vampire. That's crazy that they're committing to that.
He can just not catch a break right now. Like,
His whole like his next like 4 issues involve him being a vampire
yeah.
consistently. And like I wonder if Steven's also gonna be in the same fucking predicament. Because he
I
didn't cure anyone.
I love it
That
and
I was
hate it.
I was well. The thing we always complain about in events is that there's never any stakes, there's never any consequences.
Yeah,
So like the fact that like there's actually heroes that are stuck now as vampires is actually kind of cool. To be
that's why I
honest,
love it. Why I kind of hate it is why Miles, because I feel like
yeah,
he's
he already has too many
he's
powers.
yes, that's a huge part of it, and also he's just been like he's had so many like big event things recently. Like they made a big deal out of the repercussions of King in Black with him, where he was like an absolute carnage, where he was like, I was touched by this
No, yeah,
by Nolan, by this, you know, scary symbiote situation. I was possessed, you know, during the absolute carnage event, and he's still super scarred from that. So I'm really surprised that they decided to do that with Miles. You know, I guess I don't know if Jed suggested it to the Miles writer, and then the Miles writer agreed or what.
that's Cody
But
Ziegler who's doing the current Deadpool book. Also,
mm-hmm,
I've been really liking the Miles book so far. Like in the last like 2 arcs, the Miles book has like picked up so much. It felt like for a bit it was treading water, but then it like really picked up, and now we got like Miles. Surprisingly enough, we got like actual original villains for Miles too,
mm-hmm.
which has always been like one of the biggest complaints about Miles is that like he's always facing off against Spidey's villains, but no, like he actually has some cool people now that he's fighting against.
And that's, I guess, another reason why I'm sort of hesitant about it, about this vampire thing, is because like I feel like we're just getting into a rhythm of Miles having like his own shit, and to have him touched by such a big, you know, event thing is interesting.
Still
um
don't like the
will they
electricity sword.
keep it? Probably not for too long, if I had to guess. But yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah. Also, how the fuck is he gonna be able to go to school and shit? That's kind of fucked.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get on to your top pick, Lucas. Go ahead.
Ultimates number 3, man. Second issue for me, genuinely perfect issue, straight up. I amazing. Did everything I wanted in an issue, which was world building, great explanation about where the pieces are moving, great. We got backstories for certain characters that we needed. We got an explanation about Captain America's motives now that he's back and how he got basically sped up to the present. um, and yeah, no, oh my god, the whole Midas dialogue was phenomenal. I love the conversation of that about like what does America represent? Because genuinely, that is a question that many people, especially our age, are asking nowadays. Because I mean, America has become almost a warmonger in a way, not almost has become a warmonger in a way, and so it takes a second where it's like puts the mirror in front of America and is like, "This is the America you want to fight for. Like this is the America." So it's great to see Captain America have to combat that, and then also being the only one that stands for a country that doesn't exist. Like he is the lone soldier for this. And then the reveal of America Chavez being a thing, and her name being America, and it hits even harder than like any of her main story, surprisingly enough, in Young Avengers. And I like her stuff in Young Avengers, don't get me wrong. But like the name now has a more significant because we spent that entire issue being like, yeah, there is no America. And then the reveal of like, no, there is an America. We just have to build it. Great issue.
This issue is a good example of how to use a new universe, and pay tribute to the old characters, but bring them into a new, not just world, but a new place, a new energy, a new character, a new way to explore the character, stuff like that. And yeah, we got America Chavez and also Midas, who was really just a name usage. There weren't too many similarities to his original version to
Yeah.
this version, but it was still a really cool inclusion, showing you that they can bring whoever they want into this Ultimate Universe at any time and make them important, make them interesting. And I think this did this for both Midas and America Chavez. I think that was great in that way. And I'm very curious to see how she's going to be involved, because obviously this would be a uh, a good tool for the Ultimates to have on their side at this point. If she can, I don't know what shape she's going to be in. Obviously, probably not a great shape, but yeah, I'm very excited to see who else they have to throw in. And obviously, in this issue 3, we're going to get some She-Hulk time. So curious to see where she's been, what she's been up to, and yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say also the thing is that the whole point of America Chavez is that she is a one multiverse constant. So is this a new version of her or what? Like what's happening? I'm like genuinely really interested. To see. Did you see what also Denise Camp, the writer for the series, recently tweeted out?
No,
He
no.
said he after CDC, after the whole RDJ getting cast as Doctor Doom, he was like, "Guys, read Ultimates issue 4 when it comes out to figure out how RDJ becomes Doctor Doom."
Did he?
Like, yeah, he actually
Oh
did it. It's
no.
like, no, it was like, bro, I get that money though, like milk that shit. Like you could tell he was saying that as a joke, but I'm sure people are going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited, especially because we're seeing a mention of an army of Hulks, which is fucked. And we definitely need to get rid of that before the Maker comes back, because if he comes back and there's an army of Hulks, it's going to be way too much.
We gotta check in with ugly ass Guru Hulk.
I
See
mean,
where
we're going to
he's
get the
at.
year one. Did you see that?
What?
We're going to get the 1 year check in. There's going to be a special that's going to be checking in on the council itself, and it's going to be like a 1 year
No, I
thing.
didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're actually going to get an issue where it's just them describing what's happened in the past year, which is I'm actually really excited for that too. Um,
Cool.
so yeah, no, it looks like the Ultimate Universe is really cooking full time now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of books to jump into, even more Marvel and DC number ones that we didn't talk about this week that are starting in August. So if you guys are looking for some new books, I think now is a great time to jump in. Um, as always, like, subscribe, all that stuff we said at the beginning. Support your local comic shop and read comics, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.